Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. My name is Ceci. I'm the Director of Programs with Raising Special Kids. And with me today is Paulina. Thank you for joining me, Paulina. How are you? You're on mute.
Got it. Good. I'm really excited to be here. I'm loving this weather. I am Paulina Serna. I am a family support specialist at Raising Special Kids. And today we're filling in for Wendy. Well, for Brittany, not Wendy, Brittany. It's Friday.
Yes,
I'm a mess. It's Friday.
that's okay. Yes, we have that for us. It's Friday. So it's funny, we're talking about school, but I can't believe that summer is almost done and we're wrapping up, and all of our Arizona families are already thinking about going back to school for 2021-22 school year. Lots of changes, right?
Yeah, it feels like the summer break just flew by. We're going back to school in person, which is a whole new thing. Last year was weird. And, we all know that school environment demands many things that summer activities don't. For example, the ability to sit still, getting organized, stay on task, and adapt to a new, highly structured daily schedule. All things parents raising children with disabilities have to plan and do their best to prepare their child for.
Yeah. So there is a good way to relieve some of the back to school jitters. Sometimes just talking about what's coming up this year, right? The changes, it can help reduce back to school anxiety. So just talking to your kids about the classes, the new activities, the events, um, things that are going to be a part of their participation this new school year. If they're trying a new school, or if they're going to a new school, you should try and schedule a visit before the first day. So that's kind of good. And if you have older kids that have IEPs, sometimes it's helpful to go over accommodations with them that it's in their IEP so that they kind of know what to expect. Ultimately, we have gathered a bunch of valuable tips and resources and suggestions to help support your child have a good start of the school year and help the parents to help prepare and support their children with special education.
I feel that back to school jitters not only apply to our kids, but also to us as parents. I know I get a little anxious. It's the first day of school, making sure that everything's right. And something that works for me is attending meet the teacher night. I try to get there early. I try. If you guys know me, I never get anywhere early. So I have a better chance to arrive at the end, just kind of like either before or after it's crowded, when it's like slowing down. I ask the teacher for like 10, 15 minutes, hold a brief conversation, just kind of like to give her a heads up. A heads up on, my kid has an IEP. These are some of the accommodations. I also bring in the supplies my son needs. He does need medical supplies and other nutrition supplements that he takes during the day, and I bring those in. I kind of explain to her a little bit about how that's going to work. And another thing that I bring in is I like to bring in a handwritten note. I find it that it's more personal when it's handwritten with my contact information. So that's kind of my way to be in communication. And it's also a way to show my willingness to collaborate.
Yeah, no, communication is huge. It's important. We suggest that you keep a communication log. That's one of the tips. Keep track of all the phone calls, emails, notes back and forth. Creating a communication log for yourself is good. Keep it in a notebook or whatever, you're techie, if you want to do it on your phone, or I'm sure there's apps for that too. You want to write the dates of the communication and the nature of the communication. Also, just depending on the age, also like a communication log of what's happening in the school day is good. And that can look any which way. I know when they were little, it was every day, you got the little green, they were green because they were good, or they were red because they were bad. But, if it's something that your teacher is already doing, wonderful. If it's not, and it's something that would be helpful for you and your family and your child, ask the teacher. And maybe it's something that you guys can set up. I think I mentioned to you, Paulina, that I have a niece who her son is going to school, and there's actually an app where it's this sort of communication log. It's not like back in our day when it was a notebook that went back and forth in the backpack. So, if it's something that's helpful, try that.
You know, I miss those days when we would get that cute little notebook with the little notes. Now it's mostly like an email or a text message. And yes, that app does exist. I'm not very techy, but I know there is that app. And, you know, staying organized and keeping that log is part of staying organized. In this one can be so tricky. At least, you know, for me it is. I work full time. You know, I have kids and house and life just goes on and on. So to help me stay on top of things, I suggest organize all the paperwork. In the world of special education, there are a lot of meetings. There's a lot of paperwork, documentation to keep track of. Try to keep a calendar of school events, special education meeting, conferences, and all that, you know, stuff that we need to be there, that we need to keep track of when they're happening. This one is my favorite one. I have set up a folder on my computer, and it's